what we're trying to get at this interview. If you were to have advice for someone that was creating their first course, someone that has some degree of success with books, they're excited to do their first course, what would Joanna tell them about the mistakes you made and how to avoid them? So the videographer is definitely a very good one. Like, try and deal with as little pain as possible. What else? What other advice would you give? Would you give people?
I'd say write the sales page before you write the course.
Yep.
So know what you're selling before you get into it. Write a really strong sales page. Write the thing that you know will be easiest to sell. Like,
Yep.
just go to town on that sales page. And then by the end of that, you could make up your curriculum as you go
Yeah.
through it, right? You're thinking through what people really want and the most powerful way to sell it, the way with the least amount of friction. So you've got all of that stuff, and then once you've written the page, now you know what product you have to make. I think you
That
can do
makes
that, right? And of course,
that
that page should
makes
be informed by more than you just sitting at your desk thinking, what should I
yeah.
present to sell today, right? But if it's informed by the right things, then go write the sales page, and out of that should flow um, a
That
lot of
makes
your
that
curriculum.
makes so much sense. Well, occasionally we do a 40-minute webinar where the goal of the webinar is to teach people everything about courses in 40 minutes. So it has to be super, super concise. One of the things we tell people is think about the transformation, which is a lot like the sales page, and your outline is no more than the steps you want people to take. And then you just start filling it out and you have the scaffolding done.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the same process.
Yeah, it's true, right? You end up with that scaffolding, as you put it. Yeah, and then you don't put the wrong videos in. You don't waste time on the wrong lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long does at this point, now that you've gotten pretty good at this, how long would it take you to create a course?
Oh, jeez. Once you
I
actually
like
get
as I
in
said
it,
I like as I said now that you've gotten pretty good at it, you're like, yeah, maybe just
I don't know. Well, we'll see how the next
yeah,
batch goes, and that'll
yeah,
help me decide if we're any good
yeah.
at it or not. No, I'm just kidding. It's been good. But how long does it take? Everyone's different.
Yeah,
Each time has been different. We've only done 3 courses. Yes,
yeah,
three. Other video things on the side,
yeah.
right? But 3 courses. Um, and I guess this most recent one, the recording itself for me only took 7 hours, I think, over 2 days. That was so amazing. Um, and actually scripting, when it comes down to it, I assume probably like 50 hours,
Yep.
I would say, because it doesn't take much to fill up a video script once you know what you're going to talk about. Finding the examples is included in that. I haven't done all the worksheets for it. That's probably going to take another 7 hours or something like
Yep.
that. Um, yeah, and then the sales page and promotions. The sales page is underway. Draft already done, of course,
Yep.
but largely underway now that we're using your
Yeah.
system. And then it'll be a matter of working on those sales emails, and those are going to
Yep.
take time. Lots of sales emails. Do not hold
Yeah.
back on those
It's
sales emails.
it's so funny how when people start out, at least what I've seen is you're really, really worried about the content, but if anyone does courses long enough, it's like the content is easy. I'll figure that
It
part
only
out.
took a couple hours.
Yeah, it's all the stuff around it that's gonna take a lot of time. Um,
Yes, if you want to sell it, if you want to launch this thing and sell it, those promotions, that'll
yep,
take some work.
yep,
Put the work in, but I mean, it pays
it's
off
worth
in
it.
six
Yeah, of
figures, right?
course. So I know we're running out of time a little.
Oh, yes.
Before we go. So obviously, you know a lot about sales pages, writing effective sales copy. Um, outside of buying your books and courses, which everyone should do,
Yes.
do you have any actionable tips for people writing a sales page for courses? And this is something I'd love to know about too. The one piece of advice I've heard of, and that's literally because people ask us questions, the only feedback I give them is, talk about the customer and not about you, because no, people don't care less about you versus what you can do for them. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
tell me more such nuggets that I can pass off to other people and seem really smart.
Wow, there are so many.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're writing the sales page, true, right? Focus on what's in it for them is like the common
Yeah.
copywriter way of saying it, but yeah, it's focus on them.
Yep.
don't talk about yourself.
Yep.
Only talk about yourself when you get to the point where you're presenting yourself as an authority.
Yep.
So you have to talk about yourself
Yep.
there, and you have to sell yourself there. Don't be afraid of selling on this page. This is the point of the sales page. So follow the practices of writing good sales pages. But one of the big ones, is getting that headline right. And that largely means that you have to sometimes prepare to have multiple sales pages or to modify your sales page as the launch goes on. But make sure that your emails drive intentionally to those sales pages, and that if I click on an email, it makes sense that I need to land on that page, which is
do you think about selling in the email, or do you think about the point of the email being to take someone to the sales page?
It depends, but you have to set that goal, right?
Yeah.
So if your goal when you're writing the email is just to move people to the sales page, then get them there, right?
Yeah.
And a good trick for doing that is to follow that PAS. So problem, agitation, solution is a really good way to set people up, where the solution is understood to be largely on the sales page that follows. So the problem is how you set up the email, then you agitate the problem, or aggravate, as some people say it, and then you give a bit of the solution, and then give the rest of it on that sales page right at the top. So that means that that email has to drive intentionally to that sales page. If you write your sales page and you don't think about the emails that are driving to it, and by the way, it'll perform better if emails drive to it rather than like some random person visiting your site or something. So if you have to write them together, right? They have to be considered as like one big thing broken up into two different things.
I'm just gonna keep looking at you until I'm just gonna keep looking at you to create the expectation that you have to keep talking.
What else? What else is there? Demonstrate though. Also be sure to demonstrate on your sales page if you can. Demonstrate in some way how this course is going to work. And if you have video testimonials, bless you. That's much better than not. But it's hard, but it's worth it.
All right. I'll let you go now. We've already gotten a lot of good stuff, but it's been so great talking to you. If people want to hear more about you, hear more from you, where can they find you?
On copyhackers.com or on Twitter @copyhackers, and there is an S on the end of that. There's a gentleman who's @copyhacker, and he doesn't like getting tweets to us. So.
Have you tried asking him for his handle?
No, because we're copyhackers. We're not S-less, but people drop the S, and then the poor guy is like, I think you mean copyhackers. We get that quite a bit.
He actually replies. That's great. Bless his soul.
So that's where I am, and otherwise, airstory.co. That's our new thing.
Awesome. It's been great having you, Joanna.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I hope people got good stuff out of it.
Yep.
Good luck with the courses.